Hi, welcome back to Crystal's Tarot. This is going to be the reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign for Taurus for October of 2020. I wanted to remind everyone to always stay in your power. Never give it away to a reading, a reader, or anything or anyone else. The reading that we're going to do for you today is intended to assist you on your path to your greatest and highest good. If you're interested in knowing the decks used in today's reading, or you want to know a little bit about me, or you want to reach out to me for a personal reading, you can find all that information in the description box listed below. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our reading. I do wait for the cards to pull out, so if you feel pressed for time, please feel free to fast forward. But we're going to go ahead and start today by just cleaning out our air. So go ahead, cleaning out our the negative energies, or just kind of to relax more into the mode so that we can be relaxed and calm for our reading today. Go ahead and please get comfortable and take some inhale and exhales as they feel comfortable to you. Okay, Taurus, we're going to go ahead and get started with shuffling our cards and see what comes out and see what Spirit wants to notify us of today. For Taurus, October 2020. Taurus, October 2020. We're going to have one more and then we'll go ahead and get started. Taurus, October 2020. Thank you, Spirit. Taurus for October 2020. Taurus. Taurus, October 2020. Taurus. Taurus, October. Okay, then. So it looks like you're really trying to bring in prosperity and abundance at the moment. Are you trying to make a wise decision? We're going to pull some clarifiers before we get too much into the reading. I do like to speak about those and show those as I'm speaking about those. The bottom of the deck, you have the World card. What this represents is having changes in your environment. You might potentially be thinking about moving as well. Or you're just trying to kind of put things in better order for yourself so that your environment and your life is comfortable and it's heading in the direction you want it to kind of clear out any old negative energies. You have the Three of Wands and the Hanged Man here, just to kind of make you aware of the energies. So what this speaks about is that you're trying to wait for your ships to come in regarding something that you're finding difficult to figure out. You're kind of feeling a little bit resistant and unsure about how to move forward regarding this opportunity that you want to bring in for yourself. And then we have Page of Pentacles, which you also have up here in the energy that's crossing you, along with the Eight of Swords. And what this speaks about is there's an opportunity or information regarding an opportunity that you feel kind of like stuck in your mind space about. You're having a lot of mental conflict about how do you make that decision, how do you communicate that opportunity or decision. You might potentially be thinking about changing jobs or like creating something in your life that is abundant and prosperous for you, and you're trying to find a way to communicate that, and who do you communicate it to and how do you communicate it. Thank you, Spirit, for Taurus. All right, let's see what Spirit has for our clarifiers, Taurus, October 2020. Okay, so it seems like there's this opportunity is regarding a love situation. It has to come out. Thank you, Spirit. Taurus, October 2020. Taurus, October. And you have the World card down here as well, which is the bottom energy. It's now in your clarifier for your underlying energy. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The bottom of the clarifier deck, you have Temperance. So what this speaks about to me is you're trying to bring in balance into your environment, into your life. Or this move you're potentially considering is to bring in balance and to make things more fair, to make things more stable and comfortable for you, so that it's a more comfortable environment, so you can build things within it, instead of having hesitation and resistance and confusion within yourself. Your current energy, you have the 8 of Wands clarified with the 8 of Cups. What this speaks about is there's something that you've been considering walking away from for a long time, and it's difficult to express that. You're not really sure how you need to express it, or the person that you need to express it to, you might feel like kind of conflicted with the best way to approach them. But it's an energy that it's been building up for a while now, and it's starting to weigh heavily on your spirit and on your thoughts. The energy that's crossing that is the Page of Pentacles clarified with the Lovers. What this speaks about is what's crossing you is making this communication about potentially wanting more stability within your love relationship. So it looks like this is definitely going to be a reading about standing in your power and being able to communicate your truth in a way that is honest and fair, where you can feel like you're standing in integrity, but you're not sure how to communicate that to the people that are involved. Your underlying energy, you have the Wheel of Fortune clarified with the World card. So what this speaks about to me is you want to bring in a new environment for yourself that's going to allow you to feel like you can build something that's more nurturing for yourself, where you feel like that you're not really tied down with the way that you want to approach things, the way that you want to create things, the way that you want to build things. You want to have more free, like a freestyle, free ability to be free and act free. Because you feel like that will help you to bring in your abundance. You feel like it'll help you be more creative, and you're kind of trying to figure out those energies, but it's conflicting for you at the same time. It might be a new way of doing things that you're not used to. In your past energy, you have the Page of Wands clarified with the Hermit. So you or somebody has communicated something to you regarding a passionate opportunity, a passionate offer, and you're just trying to really evaluate it and see if there's truth behind it, what all the details mean, how those details are true for you, and if or not they are true, whether or not it's inspiring for you, and whether or not it's something that you can be motivated and encouraged with. The energy, the energy that you have in your mind space is a Page of Pentacles, it's an Ace of Pentacles, clarified with the Strength card in the reverse. So what this speaks about is you want this new opportunity to build and create things, whether it's like something in your environment, like you might be wanting to create a new job, a new way of doing money, changing jobs, or potentially it can also speak about something that is able to bear fruit. Like it could be a long-term relationship that you're seeking after, but you don't feel like you have the strength to do it. So if it's regarding creating a business, a new position, a new job, or something within those lines, you might feel inadequate. You might feel like you have this opportunity that's been provided to you, but you don't know how to stand in that power. You don't know how the best way to approach it. Like if it's a new job for you, you might feel like you don't have much experience to be successful within it. So you're kind of having a little bit of mental conflict and some insecure thoughts about that. If it's about a opportunity that you're trying to build with like a relationship, like starting a new relationship, you might feel like you don't have all the facts. You might feel like the person is a little bit different than what you're used to. So you're kind of apprehensive on how to approach it and how to further it along. In your near future, you have the Nine of Cups clarified with the Nine of Pentacles. And what this speaks about is the Nine of Cups is somebody who's proud. It can be arrogant energy, but with it being with the Nine of Pentacles, I'm more getting it as it's a confidence within you. Instead of like a negative energy, it's more like it's a positive energy where in your near future, you're going to find a way to piece these puzzle pieces together in a way that it creates something that you feel abundant within and that you're proud of. And it's going to help you to have more confidence within yourself and the situation. How you see yourself, you have the Emperor clarified with the Nine of Swords. So you might feel like you do have the ability to, or you're being provided with an opportunity to stand in your power, but you might feel like you don't, you're stressing out about it. Like you might be thinking a lot about it and thinking like maybe you don't have what it takes, but then there's other times where you remind yourself that you can do anything you set your mind to, and then you go back to being stressful. So this new opportunity, it might be causing you a lot of sleepless nights. You might be not really being on the same sleep schedule that you're used to being on. But keep in mind the Emperor, that's somebody who stands in their power. They have the ability to create. They have the ability to move things along in a passionate way, in a secure way. The Emperor is able to take care of the people around them. And so you might also be stressing about like you have a lot of obligations, and you might be like, for some of you, I'm getting like you're having a job transition and you're fearful of how that's going to impact the people that you take care of and how successful you'll be able to be within it. But know that you do have the ability to create. You have the ability to change things. You have a ability to communicate things. The Emperor, he or she is more the energy, right? It doesn't have to be male or female, but this energy, they have all of the elements. So since it's a male, we're going to speak as if it's a male. But keep in mind, it can be feminine as well. So the Emperor, he's made up of all the kings. He's the King of Wands, who has the passionate movement forward. He can create, he can do things. The King of Wands, the King of Swords, there's a truth, there's an honesty, there's an integrity. Sometimes it might not be very nurturing in the way that it's delivered, but he also has that element to be nurturing as well, with the King of Cups being in there. He has the ability to kind of sympathize with the people around him. And then you have the King of Pentacles. So he can build things that are long lasting and tangible as well. So even though you're having a little bit of personal doubt, a little bit of hesitation and concern, don't allow yourself to get stuck in that mind space too much, because you do have everything you need to create what you want to create. You just have to have more confidence within yourself and kind of nurture yourself along the process and build up your, excuse me, I'm getting like you really need to practice a lot of self-love and a lot of self-care. And then you'll start to see these energies dissipate, where you're feeling more comfortable within your own skin, within the new environment you might be facing. But you need to practice more of self-love, and just know that whatever comes to you in this life, you do have the ability to handle it, and you'll be able to handle it in a fair and honest way. We just always want to approach things in a loving and integrity way, so it benefits us and those around us. Other people see you. You have the King of Wands clarified with the Five of Pentacles. So other people see you as that you are somebody who's passionate about something that you want to create, but at the same time, you're doubtful of yourself at moments. There might have been some people that you had to let go because they weren't meeting you halfway. They weren't building with you in the way that you see your future moving forward. And they might not have showed that they were lining up with that ideal for your new world that you're trying to create. So you might have had to let some people go. Some of them, if you had to let people go, they kind of feel like it was a hasty decision. They might feel like it was unfair and it was harsh and rash, and that maybe you didn't think it through. But I think you did. I think you definitely thought it through, and making that decision to let people go, certain people go, was very difficult for you to make. And it caused you a lot of sleepless nights, or like a lot of toss and turning in the nighttime. It wasn't a decision that you came to easily or lightly. You're hopeful to really bring in a loving, nurturing energy, so that there's something to be celebrated in the near future is what you're hoping for. You want to have more fairness and more compassion from those within your environment around you, and you want to be able to provide that to the people in your environment as well. So as long as everything remains the same, your final potential outcome, you have the 10 of Wands, the Ace of Swords, clarified with the King of Wands in the reverse. So before we go into this energy, I want to remind you that you have the King of Wands here. And he's also represented with the Emperor as well. So even though this energy with the King of Wands is in the reverse to clarify your final outcome, know that it is in the upright. People do see that potential within you to act in those energies, even though you're kind of doubting it for yourself at the moment. So when we have the 10 of Wands, it speaks about carrying a burden far too long. It was too heavy to bear, and you need to and should be putting it down. And there's going to be a truth, a harsh truth that either provided to you or you're going to provide to others, which is going to allow that burden to be set down, or to be, it's going to be able to be set down. So I think that there might be other people that you're wanting to let go of in your environment, but you're struggling on how to do that because you still care about them, you still want them around, but you're realizing that the energy that they're providing isn't nurturing for you, it's not healthy, and it doesn't inspire you, which is causing you not to really act in your full potential. It's causing you to not really stand in your full truth all the way. And so at some point in your near future, you're going to, as long as you have this energy about yourself of having more self-confidence, practicing self-love, you're going to be able to let things go, and or at least communicate the things that you're willing to accept and not willing to accept moving forward. So basically, if people want to be in your life, you're going to be truthful and potentially a little blunt about your expectations for their interactions moving forward. But you do have good intentions. You're just trying to build something that is healthy for yourself, something that is reliable and dependable, and it feels nurturing and healthy. You might not have had that in your past, and that's why you're needing to walk away from things with the 8 of Cups. This represents walking away from things that are no longer fulfilling to you, and it's an energy you've been thinking about for quite a while. So the more you practice self-love, and the more that you remind yourself of how strong you are, the wise decisions that you have made, the things that you've been dedicated and followed through with, that's going to build your confidence more. And then I always like to remind everybody to practice an attitude of gratitude, right? When we're focused on certain things, we tend to bring those things in. So if we're thinking about the doubtful things, the things that we might have failed, made a decision that wasn't successful for us, we're going to bring more of that energy in. But when we focus on our successes, our accomplishments, the benefit that we've had on others, the positive impact of our energy towards those around us and the environment around us, it builds our confidence, and we bring more of that energy in. So I always advise everybody to practice an attitude of gratitude and go over your gratitude list. That way you can spend more time in that energy, and it also helps to alleviate those negative energies as well, to bring in that self-confidence. We're also going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards and see what additional messages there are for us. For Taurus, October 2020. Taurus, October 2020. Thank you, Spirit. One more, and we're going to start pulling our cards. Thank you, Spirit. One more, sorry. Okay. You have the Journey and the Earth Keeper. So you're really trying to seek something that's going to bring in more balance for you. And you know it's going to be a little bit of work, potentially a lot of hard work on your part, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. But you're willing to do it. And because you see it's going to bring in stability for you, it's going to bring in the environment that you want to create, that's going to be fair and balanced for you, where your energy is more positive and uplifting, where you feel more encouraged and more inspired. So Spirit's encouraging you to go ahead and do that, to figure out what it is that you want to change within your environment and pursue those changes. Even if it's just a little bit at a time. That's how we do things, right? It's one step at a time until ultimately we got to our destination. And then you have Taming the Wind and the Sun. So once you are able to calm your mental thoughts, it's going to bring in great abundance, great clarity for you. And you're going to be able to see that you're able to, the more that you relieve this mental clarity, the more that you let go of the things that no longer serve you, you're going to see your abundance. And it's going to create more of an inspiration within you to continue to do that, and to continue to be hopeful of your future. And then you have the Beloved and the Time Master. So what this speaks about to me is to really spend more time focusing on, instead of spending so much energy focusing on your disappointments or how people might have let you down, or what you could have done different, focus on that self-love, focus on that attitude of gratitude. And that's going to help you to kind of dissipate the energies and let go of energies that are no longer serving you, and to be able to come more into your power, where you have this confidence about yourself in your near future. Is what I'm seeing. So right now, especially with the Hermit here, you might be evaluating where you've invested your energies and whether or not it was a good decision, it was a good investment for you. But Spirit's encouraging you to not be so rigid with yourself and your past. Like, focus on the things that you have done right, so that you can bring in more of that. And what has served you and what worked for you, that's what you want to focus on, not the lack, not the disappointment, not you don't want to discourage yourself. You want to always motivate yourself with what you're trying to see in your future. Okay, and Time Master came out again. I always like to tell people, when the same card comes out multiple times, like right here you have the King of Wands is out here twice. And when we were doing the pre-shuffle, you had the Page of Pentacles out here as well. Let's see, I'm not really seeing any. You have the World card out here multiple times. So what those energies speak about is, again, the King of Wands. Kings are usually action, whereas queens are mental. Kings are the ones that deliver, and the queens are the ones that receive. They're the receptive energy. So being that you have two King of Wands out here, that speaks about something that you're passionate about and you want to put movement forward. And with one being in the upright and one being in the reverse, other people see that you are doing these things, but you aren't feeling that you're doing them to the full capacity or to your full capability yet. But I think that the more that you spend time on self-love, and is it self? It's not just self-love. It's like self-encouraging, which I guess is a form of self-love. But more reminding yourself of the things that you've done, reminding yourself of the successes that you've already created. That's going to bring in more balance and more fairness, and you'll start to see your world turn around in a more positive direction. Sorry. Okay, so we have the Sweat Lodge, the Drum, Completion, Time Master, the Rainmaker, Stand Still, and Lightning. So what I'm getting out of this is the Sweat Lodge, and this is you going inside and kind of spending more time with your spirit, seeing the things that motivate you, encourage you. What are you inspired to do? What are you looking forward to having in your future? And even those hard times of people might have disappointed you. So you're kind of sitting in that energy a little bit of like, and even if you might have disappointed yourself as well. So the Sweat Lodge, it's like you're really having that deep dive internal, especially with the Hermit here. You're having this deep dive internal dialogue, review to see how you've done things and how you could do them better. And then you have the Drum here, which is going to like bring in like it's going to be like where you start to put these actions forward. You're going to have harsh truths for yourself and potentially for those around you as well. But I feel like majority of this energy is like it's internal. It's where we're reviewing ourselves, and it very much reminds me of that phrase of be the change that you want to see. So I feel like you're living that. You're not just talking about it, you're living it. And then with completion here, this also reminds me of the World card, which you have out here twice. So you're going to allow certain cycles to end so that new things can transition into you that you feel more positive and motivated, encouraged, and inspired by. And then you have the Time Master. And what this speaks about is using your time wisely and using it in a fair and balanced way for yourself and for others. And this kind of, like, I'm really getting, like, when you're spending time with yourself doing this deep dive, do not beat up on yourself. Do not remind yourself of what you've done wrong. You want to encourage yourself. And the things that you have done wrong, yes, you want to look at those and see how you could improve that. But you don't want to, like, scold yourself. You don't want to, we always want to be our strongest cheerleader, because there's a harsh world out there, right? So there's already people that are thinking negatively about you, potentially speaking negatively to you, and you don't need that energy. You need energy that's cleansing and healing for you. So use your time wisely in that manner. And then you have the Rainmaker. So what this speaks about to me is you're going to clean out those negative energies. When you think about what the rain does, it comes in and it clears out the energy, the air, and it allows things to grow, things to bloom and nourish. And then you have Stand Still. So I think that you're going to kind of be shocked by the progress that you see within a quick time frame when you start to live in that attitude of gratitude, because you're already starting to be the change that you want to see. But I think you're kind of being harsh on yourself by, it might not be moving along. You're not seeing the results you want to see quick enough. So you're kind of being doubtful and resistant with yourself. It's causing you some sleepless nights, harsh truths for yourself. But you want to, like, recognize those energies, recognize how you could have been a little bit better, stood in your truth a little bit more, and improve the situation better. But at the same time, you want to allow healing to come through. And once you do, I think you'll be surprised by how confident that you start to become, especially with the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles right here. I think that once you start to see that energy, you're going to be shocked by it. And it's going to kind of cause you to have a moment of reflection of where you're like, stop and take inventory of things, right? And I think you'll be very proud of yourself. And then that's going to bring in Lightning, which to me, it speaks about having something that's magnetic, having something that is energizing to yourself and those around you, and like really standing in your abundance and really being able to be strong with your movements and what you want to create out of life, and actually being able to do it instead of having mental conflict, whether it's right or wrong and how you should go about it and things like that. So I feel like Spirit is strongly advising you to really spend a lot of time on self-nurturing right now. And then that's going to bring in the things that the prosperity, the growth, the changes that you want to see, that you're trying to create, the balance that you're trying to create within your own personal world. Okay, that has been your reading, Taurus, for October of 2020. We're going to go ahead and close out this reading by cleaning out our energy. lifting our vibration and dissipating any negative energies or any doubts that we're feeling at the moment. So I also want to take this moment to just remind you that we all have an intuition, so use it. And make sure that you're following your own intuition, your own personal advice, and your own guidance system. And that's going to, you're going to see a lot of real growth and a lot of abundance from that alone. If this reading has resonated with you, please like and subscribe if you have not already done so. If you feel like somebody that you know can benefit from this reading, please share with them. Thank you, Taurus. I'll see you again next time, sending you lots of love and light.